Morning everybody. Today I will tell you summary of the chapter The Best Christmas Present in the World. The author is Michael Morpurgo. The author found a roll-top desk in a junk shop. It was in a bad condition but cheap. He thought that he could restore it. Restore means repair. So he bought it. He began to work on it on Christmas Eve. He pulled out the drawers. He found that these had been badly damaged by fire and water. The man who sold it had told him that it was very old. It was of 19th century and made of oak. The last drawer had stuck fast. He had to use much force to open it. When it opened, it revealed a secret space. In it, he found a small tin box. On the top of the box, these words were written. Jim's last letter, received January 25, 1915. To be buried with me when the time comes. Inside there was an envelope with the address, Mrs. Jim McPherson, 12 Copper Beeches, Bridport. The date was December 26, 1914. The author read the letter. The owner of the desk must have put it in. The letter had been written by a captain of the English army. His name was Jim McPherson. He had written it to his wife Connie. A wonderful incident had happened on the battlefield on the Christmas day. Jim McPherson had narrated it in his letter. The English and the Germans were at war. The two armies stood in their respective trenches on the two sides of the no man's land. Trenches means hiding places. Suddenly, McPherson saw someone waving a white flag from the enemy side. Then he saw many German soldiers calling out to them. They were wishing a happy Christmas to the English soldiers. Some English soldiers shouted back, "Same to you." The English thought that was all. To their surprise, they saw many Germans moving towards them. The captain was alarmed. It could be a trick, but it was not. They were bringing with them German wine and canned meat. Now, there were no rifles between the soldiers. They were hugging one another. The German officer moved towards McPherson. They shook hands very warmly. Then the German officer said that he was from Dusseldorf and that he had played cello in the orchestra. He gave his name as Hans Wolf. In return, McPherson also introduced himself. He said that he was a school teacher from Dorset. Hans Wolf smiled. He said he knew Dorset. In fact, he had never been to England, but he knew English. His favorite writer was Thomas Hardy. His favorite book was Far from the Madding Crowd. It was from there he had learnt all about Dorset. McPherson shared with Hans Wolf the Christmas cake his wife had sent for him. Hans Wolf said that the marzipan was the best he had ever tasted. It was a wonderful Christmas party. Then a soldier brought out a football. The soldiers played while McPherson and Hans Wolf clapped and cheered. Hans Wolf suggested that the world would be much better if the problems were resolved by a football match instead of war. After the football match, all the drinks and eatables were consumed. Now it was time to part. Hans Wolf saluted McPherson and walked away slowly and unwillingly. That night, the Germans were singing a carol. The English soldiers replied with a rousing chorus of another carol. They exchanged carols. Carols means songs which are sung on Christmas Eve. Then they exchanged carols for a while and then it was all silence. Macpherson wrote in his letter that he would treasure those moments all his life. Macpherson ended the letter hoping that the war would end soon. Both armies longed for peace and he was sure they would be together again. Having read the letter, the author put it back in the envelope. He decided to give the letter back to whom it belonged. The address was of Bridport, Dorset, so he drove to that place. The house number 12 turned out to be a burnt-out shell. It was found that Mrs. Macpherson was in the house when it caught fire. The firemen had got her out just in time. She was 100 years old. Now, as her house was burnt, she was in a nursing home. The author went to the nursing home. He met the matron. She told the author that Mrs. Macpherson was very confused that day. They had put her in a conservatory. The author found Mrs. Macpherson sitting in a chair. Naturally, she looked up at the author vacantly. She was shocked, but her eyes lit up when he called her Connie and gave her the letter. He told her how he had got the letter, but she was not listening to him. She reached out and took his hand. Her eyes were filled with tears. She felt that her Jim had returned. She mistook the author as Jim. She said that her Jim had kept his promise. He had returned on the eve of Christmas. She made him sit beside her. She kissed his cheeks and she talked long and lovingly to him. She said that she had got the best Christmas present in the world.